This ship cost $13.3 billion. It weighs 100,000 tons. It carries 75 fighter jets. It can launch airstrikes anywhere on Earth. It is the ultimate symbol of military power. And Israel will never, ever buy one. The USS Gerald R. Ford is the most advanced warship ever built. It cost $13.3 billion just for the hull. Add the air wing, and you're looking at $18 billion total. For that price, you get a floating city, a mobile airbase, the ability to park 75 fighter jets off the coast of any country on Earth and project unstoppable force. Now look at Israel, one of the most advanced militaries in the world. They have F-35 stealth fighters. They have Iron Dome. They allegedly have nuclear weapons. They have laser defense systems that shoot missiles out of the sky. So here's the question. Why doesn't Israel have a single aircraft carrier? Not one, not even a small one. Here's the answer. Because in the Middle East, a $13 billion aircraft carrier isn't a weapon, it's a target. And Israel realized something that most superpowers refuse to admit. In the age of precision missiles, carriers aren't symbols of strength. They're floating coffins waiting to be sunk. This is the story of why Israel refused to buy the world's most powerful ship, and why that decision might have saved their country. Let's talk about geography. The Mediterranean Sea looks huge on a map. It stretches from Spain to Turkey, thousands of miles across. But for modern anti-ship missiles, it's a bathtub. Here's Israel, a narrow strip of land on the eastern edge of the Mediterranean. Now let's measure the distances to their enemies. Lebanon, Hezbollah, 0 kilometers. They share a border. Syria, 50 kilometers across the sea. Iran, 1,600 kilometers. Too far to park a carrier safely, too close to hide. Now here's the nightmare. This is the P-800 Yakhont anti-ship missile. Russia sold it to Syria. Syria gave it to Hezbollah. Iran has stockpiles of them. Specifications: range, 300 kilometers. Speed, Mach 2.5. That's over 1,900 miles per hour. Warhead, 200 kilograms of high explosive. Let me put that in perspective. If Israel parks an aircraft carrier off the coast of Tel Aviv, its own capital, it is already inside the kill zone of Hezbollah's shore-based missiles. The carrier doesn't even have to approach enemy territory. It's a target just sitting in Israeli waters. A Mach 2.5 missile covers 300 kilometers in under 7 minutes. That means from the moment Hezbollah presses the button, Israeli defenses have 7 minutes to detect, track, and intercept a sea-skimming missile traveling faster than a rifle bullet. And here's the brutal truth about anti-ship missiles. You only need one. One missile penetrates the hull. One explosion ignites jet fuel. One fire spreads to the munitions. And a carrier, this $13 billion symbol of power, burns for days and sinks.
Compare that to an airfield. You can bomb an Israeli airbase, crater the runway, destroy hangars. And within hours, sometimes minutes, bulldozers fill the craters, emergency crews clear debris, and jets are taking off again. You can repair concrete. You cannot repair a sinking ship in the middle of a war. In the Mediterranean, a carrier isn't a fortress. It's a floating bullseye. Okay, so carriers are vulnerable in the Mediterranean. But maybe Israel could still use them for power projection, right? Park them farther out. Use them for strikes on distant targets.
Let's do the math. The USS Gerald R. Ford, hull, $13.3 billion. Air wing, 75 FA-18s, support aircraft, munitions, about $5 billion. Total, $18 billion. Now, Israel's entire annual defense budget is about $24 billion. Think about that. One aircraft carrier would consume 75% of Israel's yearly military spending. So, here's the question. What else could Israel buy for $18 billion? Option A, one aircraft carrier, vulnerable, slow, a single point of failure. Option B, 150 F-35 Adir stealth fighters, about $120 million each. 20 Iron Dome batteries, about $50 million per battery. 5 Dolphin-class submarines, about $500 million each. For the price of one carrier, Israel could buy an entire air force, a missile defense shield, and a submarine fleet. And here's the strategic genius of that choice. Losing one F-35 is a tragedy. The pilot's family mourns. The Air Force adapts. But losing a carrier? That's 5,000 sailors dead. That's 75 aircraft at the bottom of the ocean. That's $18 billion gone in a single explosion. It's not just a military defeat, it's a national trauma. Stalin once said, "Quantity has a quality all its own." Israel took that lesson to heart. They didn't buy one massive vulnerable ship. They bought hundreds of distributed, survivable assets. Because in war, you can afford to lose pieces. You cannot afford to lose the whole board. In 1981, U.S. Secretary of State Alexander Haig said something that changed how people think about Israel. Israel is the largest American aircraft carrier in the world that cannot be sunk. Think about what that means. Israel is the carrier. It's a piece of land, strategically located at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa. It has runways, hardened bunkers, fuel depots, maintenance facilities. And unlike a ship, it doesn't float. It's anchored to bedrock. You can bomb it. You can crater the runways. You can destroy infrastructure. But you cannot sink it. And within hours, it's operational again. But here's the question. If Israel is the carrier, how do they solve the range problem? A carrier's advantage is that it moves. It brings air power close to the target. How does Israel strike Iran 1,600 kilometers away without a floating airbase? The answer, mid-air refueling. Israel operates a fleet of Boeing 707 and modified KC-46 tanker aircraft. An F-15I ROM takes off from Nevatim Air Base. It flies 400 kilometers on internal fuel. Then it meets a tanker over the Mediterranean, tops off, flies another 800 kilometers into Iran, drops its bombs, meets another tanker on the way back, refuels again, and lands safely in Israel. Total cost of tanker operations? Fraction of a carrier. Vulnerability? A tanker can fly anywhere. A carrier is stuck in the ocean. Israel didn't need a moving airport. They needed a flying gas station. And that's exactly what they built.
So if Israel didn't buy carriers, what did they invest in? Two things: defense and deterrence. Meet the SAR-6 Corvette. It's tiny, less than 2,000 tons. It costs a fraction of a destroyer. But it's packed with Barak missile interceptors, Naval Iron Dome, advanced radar systems, electronic warfare suites. Its mission? Protect Israel's offshore natural gas rigs. These rigs supply energy to the entire country. Lose them, and Israel goes dark. The SAR-6 doesn't project power. It protects survival. But the real genius is the submarines. Israel operates 6 Dolphin-class submarines, German-made, diesel-electric, nearly silent, and they allegedly carry nuclear-tipped cruise missiles, the Popeye Turbo, range 1,500 kilometers, Launch platform, submarine torpedo tubes. Here's why this matters. A carrier says, "I am here, fear me." A submarine says, "I could be anywhere, you'll never see me coming." Right now, at this very moment, there are Israeli submarines somewhere in the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, maybe even the Indian Ocean. Nobody knows where, and that's the point. If Iran attacks Israel with nuclear weapons, Israel doesn't need a carrier strike group for retaliation. They need one submarine, one missile, one city. In a neighborhood of enemies, invisibility beats size. Carriers are Goliath, massive, powerful, and slow. Submarines are David, small, fast, and lethal. So let's bring it all back. Superpowers build aircraft carriers to project power, to enforce trade routes, to intimidate rivals, to show the flag. Israel builds a military to survive. For $18 billion, the US gets one carrier, a symbol of dominance. For $18 billion, Israel gets 150 stealth fighters, 20 missile defense batteries, and a submarine fleet that could end civilizations. Because in the end, wars aren't won by the biggest ship. They're won by the hardest target to hit. Israel didn't refuse to buy carriers out of weakness. They refused because they understood something most nations don't. In the 21st century, the era of the aircraft carrier is over. The future belongs to the invisible. So here's my question for you. Do you think the era of the aircraft carrier is over, or are they still the kings of the ocean? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you think. And if you want to see how Israel's F-15I Ram became the ultimate bunker buster, that video just dropped. Link in the description. Hit subscribe. We are just getting started. See you in the next one.